Every narcissist has one thing in common. They cannot survive without a constant source of fuel. That fuel can be admiration, attention, control, drama, or even your pain. It's what keeps their false self alive. But what most people don't realize is that one day, the supply starts to dry up. And when that happens, the narcissist begins to unravel. This is what's known as the collapse. Collapse is not an overnight event. It's a slow erosion. The narcissist has spent years building their entire life around external validation, taking energy from everyone around them without ever replenishing it. They've mastered charm, manipulation, and control, but these tactics only work for as long as people give in. The moment you detach, the moment their old tricks stop working, the cracks in their mask start to show. When a narcissist runs out of fuel, you'll notice something shift. They're no longer as confident. Their charm doesn't flow the way it used to, and their ability to dominate conversations or control situations begins to weaken. On the inside, they're panicking, but on the outside, they may lash out harder than ever, desperate to squeeze whatever they can from the people around them. But the truth is, the more they push, the more obvious their desperation becomes. The collapse leaves them exposed. All the things they tried to hide, the insecurity, the emptiness, the fear of being nothing without control, it all rises to the surface. Suddenly, the mask falls away, and you see the reality. Someone who has spent their entire life running from themselves. Someone who has never built a real identity, only borrowed pieces from others to construct a false image. For the narcissist, this collapse feels like death. Their entire sense of power and superiority depends on others feeding it. And once that energy source is cut off, they're left with nothing but the void inside. Some spiral into rage, others into bitterness and victimhood, and some sink into despair. But no matter how they react, one thing is certain. They cannot escape themselves anymore. But let's make something very clear. This collapse doesn't magically make them change. It doesn't awaken empathy. It doesn't lead them to suddenly realize the pain they've caused. Instead, it exposes the brokenness that has always been there, hidden under the surface. Their system of survival has failed, and the truth they've been running from finally catches up. And while this collapse is terrifying for them, it can actually be freeing for you. Because their collapse is not your burden to carry. It is not your job to repair them or to feed their ego again. This collapse is the consequence of their actions, their choices, and the way they live by draining others instead of healing themselves. For you, this moment can mark a turning point. It's the end of their grip on your life. It's a moment you finally see them for who they are without the mask. And most importantly, it's the chance for you to step into your own healing, your own strength, and your own freedom. No longer tied to fueling someone who only ever took from you. The narcissist's collapse is their reckoning. But for you, it's the beginning of a new chapter.